Hello everyone, this is Dimitri with UGears US, Ukidz LLC. Today we're going to be assembling the first out of 6 models, for now at least, Star Wars models by UGears. This is R2-D2. Just got them today, literally. I'm going to try to assemble as many as I can, so you guys have it by the time you receive it, at least from our store, not directly from the manufacturer, because they've been shipping for some time. Obviously their accessibility is much greater than mine, but in either case, let's start with the first one. This is R2-D2. There's gonna be, let's see, 315 parts, and level is medium, so it is for 14 plus. Let's use our tool. So if you can see, this box is a little damaged, but I don't care because the interior or internal parts are okay. This is just one of the boxes that were damaged in the shipment, so instead of wasting it or selling it on a discount, I'm gonna put it together for you so you have all the information you need. All right, let's see what's in the box. So we got 1, 2, 3 boards. Let me move all my tools on the side here. We got instructions manual, actually 3.5 boards. We have 2 envelopes in here, little parts, let's see, 1A, so 3.5 and a little part board. We have all these nice little paper cutouts, and let's see, let's get that out. Or actually, no, I'm gonna keep it here, so I'm gonna drop everything that is inside the envelopes into here. So let's see, we got a LED, we got projections. I guess I'll keep those for maybe later. I'll keep these separately. A couple O-rings, couple rubber bands, or a few 4 O-rings, a few rubber bands, 3 rubber bands. There's a glass, there's a couple springs, I guess, and projections for the light. All right, that's pretty cool. Good start. I'm gonna put that aside to make sure we don't lose it and don't mess it up. And let's see what's in the other envelope. My assumption is the all the other necessary stuff for it to operate. So you got sandpaper, which got plenty. We got a spring, and we have a wax. All right, so nothing in the envelope. Once again, I'm not throwing anything out until the end, just to make sure that we have everything that accidentally is not going to be pitched in the garbage. And let's start with the assembly. All right, first page, let's see. This is a little new and a little different from what it is, probably because it is a licensed product. So let's see, remove model parts from the hanger board as illustrated below. Carefully not to break parts. If a part does not remove easily, carefully cut out with a knife. This model is intended for self-assembly without glue. Obviously not for kids under 3. Do not light up the candle. All the symbols that are available in the manual, exclamation mark, pay close attention. Sandpaper is to sand apart. This symbol is actually tea light candle wax with a gear in there, so you need to wax the part. This symbol is the little fan with arrows that you need to make sure that they are part is operational. Freely moving around the axis or whatnot, or in the assembly. These 2 gears is the actual mechanical portion of it, so the gears are interlocking and the mechanics working on it. This symbol is to snap 2 parts together with 2 green arrows, and this one do not snap parts together at this point of time. The little scissors is obviously you need to cut something, and then there is a spare part list. So you have a little plus sign if the spare part is available. And then looks like, I don't know, not in this manual, but it doesn't give you the list of parts on here, because other manuals do. This one doesn't, so you have a little symbol in the manual if the part is available. So like if you see it here, it is available on one of the boards. All right, there's a helping tool. It is on board number 1. So let's pull board number 1 and pull that tool off. So it is used to push the parts out, snap them together, and possibly other things. And there's, I guess, an H2. I'm gonna push that one out, H1 and H2. So that was H1, here's H2, also on board number 1. I'm gonna put that one aside. I'm assuming we're gonna be using both in the assembly. All right, let's move on. Electrical components. So before starting assembly, make sure the LED is intact and undamaged. The battery should not be discharged. Compatible battery types are CR2032 3V or LIR2032 3.6V. Nominal current consumption is 0.015 amps. Batteries are not included in the kit, so unfortunately I don't have one here, or maybe I do. Let's see if it's operational. I have my alarm system parts here, so let's check. If not, then I'll need to bring in assembly and check it. So we need to make sure the light is working before we start the assembly. So the longer part is a plus, which goes on top, and the shorter one is a minus, and we have an operation. So once again, we need to check the light before we start assembly to make sure it's working, make sure it's operational, and then a 2032 battery, readily available pretty much anywhere. All right, so light is working. I'm gonna put a battery on the side for now, and let's see, move on. This is all instructions in different languages, and we are ready to start the assembly. We're on page number 6, step number 1 on the left-hand side. Board number 1, let's go. So port number 1 is right at the center of board number 1 at the top. Push it out. We need 4 parts number 2. These gonna be, let's see where they at. They're gonna be a little bit to the right and below that part, so we need all 4 of them from here. I'm using my helping tool to push these out. And we need part number 3. So part number 3 is going to be top right corner of the same board, and this is our step 1. So we're going to use our board, make sure, all right, they are pointing out there's one square hole that is on the left hand side, for me at least, so make sure it's on the left. And another indication is there is a cutout a little bit below on the bottom side. This one's, the one on the left is a little larger, so if you have it like this, just flip it around and start assembling. Part number 2 is going to go into these 4 square holes that are rectangular. I'm sorry, that are diagonal. That's what I meant. And let's see, they go into all of 4 of them. And then part number 3 is going to go over it. I don't think there's any directionality, so if you flip it accidentally, you should be good. You might need to move these parts number 2 a little bit just to make sure it fits over. And we snap it all the way in, all the way to the surface, so it's gonna sit nice and flat. And that's our part A1. So we're gonna put it aside. Step number 1, a little bit to the left of the middle page at the top. We need parts number 5, 2 of them, part number 4 and 6. All right, let's see, part number 4 will be right at the center here, in the middle of the circle, a little below the middle, right at the center line. Make sure you don't lose these components. I'm gonna put it back in. It might pop out a little bit. Then we need 2 5s. 5s are on the bottom here. I don't see any other locations for them, or actually there's 2 of them here, and part number 6 is in there too, so we can take that full circle out from the center of the part. Make sure you keep the part intact, or remember the number 11. You can write with a pencil or something, or just know that you took it out. So we need 2 parts number 5. They need to be waxed, and you just bring a little bit of wax. If you need to decrease, or if you want to decrease your time that you need to work the parts in, I recommend to sand it a little bit too before you wax it, and then you put the wax. So let's see, part number 4 is going to go right through the middle of part number 6, and we need to remove any extra material that may be stuck in there. I'm going to use a little, I have, this was a paper clip. So if you see any material in between the gear teeth, then make sure you remove it. And then we need to go around and wax the little gear, every single tooth. All right. And then part number 5 on one end. And part number 5 on the other end. It is tiny, both of them are tiny, so it's a little tiny gear. Right, and I'm just making sure that there is no extra material in between the teeth. All right, we're good. That's going to be our A2. Next, step number 1 right below is need to create part number A3. So we need parts number 7. And then good indicators at bottom left or left side of the page, there's always a diagram where approximately you can find the part. So this is a little bit below on the right hand side, below the middle. Then we need part number 5, which is going to be on the bottom here. There's a little cluster here with couple spares. Need 2 parts number 8. These going to be to the left, a little bit above the middle, to the left of the center line. So we got part number, and then part number 9. Part number 9 is bottom left of the board, almost at the end there. Any cylindrical part, washer, they need to be waxed on the outside. It's just kind of like a rule of thumb. So we need to wax part number 9 and part number 5. And then obviously gears being gears, make sure you remove any spare material off of that. Extra material that may be sticking out in between the teeth, because that's where the connection points are at, and that material could prevent the part from moving very easy. And then we apply the wax on every single tooth of that little gear. All right, gear number 1. So we need 2 number 8s. And then you don't need to put a lot of wax on there, just like a little brush. Sometimes it just stays on there. All right, and there's exclamation point, so make sure that the flat portion of the gear is facing the clockwise direction. And so then we're gonna put part number 7 through it. Let's see, it's on one end. There's a shorter end and a longer, right? No, they're symmetrical, so just one end. And if it doesn't go one way, try rotating it 90 degrees and push it all the way to that little step. And I put it in correctly. As I'm talking, I'm just using my little knife to separate it and remove it because I didn't pay attention. All right, so let's see, flat surface, there we go. Just drop them on the desk and make sure the gear teeth are lined up nice and flat to each other, and then we lock it up with part number 5 at the end. Then part number 9 is going to be going from the front and all the way to the gears. All right, and that's our A3. Put it on the side. Step number 1 on the right hand side, a little to the right of the middle on the top. We're going to take our A1. We're going to take our A3, the one that we just made, and that's going to go through the 1, 2, 3, third hole from the bottom, the circular hole. It's going to go in here from the back, so part number 3 is at the front. And then we need part number 10 is the top right corner of board number 1. And that guy keeps on falling off, which we're going to need in the second and the step number 3. So I'm just going to remove it and have it on the side. So part number 10, check, make sure all the material extra material is gone. And then once again, we're just going to go around and apply wax to every single tooth of that little gear, making sure that we're still on record. And going around. All right, all the way through, and then we're gonna put it over the part number 7 of that A3, and then A2 is gonna go in the second hole from the bottom. Make sure the gears are interlocking, and then we're gonna part number 11. Make sure it's facing this same direction. It's symmetrical, so there is no directionality to it, and we just snap it over parts number 2, and then this gear should be rotating. Pretty easy and smooth. Alrighty. Okay, so we're done with page number 6, moving on to page number 7. Right on top here, we need parts number 9, 12, 2 12s, and 5. Let's see, part number 9, board number 1, bottom left, still there. Part number 12 is the top right corner. And then part number 5 is the bottom center here. All right, so let's see. Part number 9, of course, need to wax it all around. Part number 5, remember all the cylindrical washer-looking parts, they need to be waxed on the outside, just a rule of thumb. And obviously every single gear needs to be waxed on the teeth, front and back. That will help to reduce the friction drastically and will help you to work the mechanism in much faster than if you don't do this. I mean, otherwise you can do without, but I wouldn't recommend it. I'd say I've done it without the wax, but it's not as easy. All right, so number 9 is gonna go first, and it's gonna need to be flush. Then we need to have 2 numbered 12. Then you might want to use the table as the leverage. Make sure when you insert these 2 guys, the teeth are matching, are in the same format. This is the proper way, and so they don't overlap. And then we put part number 5 over the top to lock that mechanism in. And now we one more time, just make sure that it rotates nice and easy around its axis. So remember that little symbol with a fan and 2 airs. All right, that was step number 4, and that's our sub-assembly part number 8. Step number 1 in the top right corner, it's gonna be part number 13, and it's gonna be at a little bit above the middle on the right hand side. And let's see, we need part number 14. We will need 10 of those. So part number 14 is on that shorter, smaller board, half board. And there's top right corner as you're looking at the number. That's actually board number 2, so we need all 10 of them. Work these out. And there's 2 spares just in case. All right, here we need to use sandpaper, or in my case, I have a little precision file that I use normally for my assemblies. So we just run with the file all around to remove extra material, and then we run one time around with the wax just to put a little bit of lubrication on it. And now we put this number 14 into every single hole all around on that part number 13. looks like we're working on our mechanism. And there is also a little QR code. I'm assuming, I don't know, I haven't checked it, I never checked them, but it is gonna probably show you how to wind up or put the spring on. I don't know. You guys can check it out and put it in a comment where it leads to. All right, so all 10 are there. And now we need our spring. So we have the spring here. Take it out of the little baggie. And then with the spring, let's see, there's a little lip. So you need to make sure the lip is facing clockwise direction. We have a little flat spot on here, so doesn't matter the directionality on this one. Just make sure that the gear, the spring comes out. Let's say if this portion is flat, horizontal, so it comes out, and you rotate a little bit the part, make sure there's a little part number 14 on the bottom, on the y-axis, so it comes out between that and the one right next to it. So, gonna lay it flat right now, and we need part number 15, which is gonna be on board number 1, top left corner. So part number 15 doesn't look like it is waxed, but we're gonna need to wax it a little bit later. So as of right now, we just put it over, and we need to match every single one of those part number 14 to make sure it gets probably going to be the toughest part. All right, I'm going to start with the bottom one where the spring comes out to make sure that spring still comes out of that location. All right, so the one that I intended for it to come out. And then you use your helping tool to adjust these little parts. Bring them up and down a little bit, go all around. If it doesn't go in easy, just make sure you move it up or down a little bit, and then it should snap right in. There you go. All around, nice and done. All right, and that's where we use our second helping tool. We take the little cutout here, put it over the flat surface of the spring, and then we wind it up in a clockwise direction from the side of the gear. And then as it winds up, it's going to move on to inside. And the little lip needs to go over one of the part number 14s and kind of lock in there. So once you release it, it's just going to stay inside, and that's our B1. All right, so that little lip, where is it at? Right here. It went over part number 14, and it's just going to stay there. It's going to lock itself in. All right, so next step, number 1 in the top right corner. We're still on board number 1. We need parts number 17, 18. They're top right corner. 117 and 118. Top left corner, I apologize. And then 2 parts number 16. They're a little bit below middle on the left-hand side. All right, now we're gonna wax outside of part number 18. And 17. So 18 is the one with a little dot, 17 is the one without. And then we need to insert both of them into this opening. So through the 17. first, and then 18 lock it up. And now we gonna need to insert it from the back, not from the gear side, but from the other, over that little flat portion. So these two parts, they separate. And that one number 16 is gonna go over one side and the other one over the other, in between these two parts. So that flat portion is in between these two guys. It's gonna go all the way in to lock it in. The part number 17 is gonna be inside the gear, and then 18 is gonna stick out a little bit. And then from the other side, we're gonna go part number 17, which is in the top left corner again. Make sure it's waxed. And that one's gonna go on the inside of that part number 16, all the way in. So you need to squeeze it a little bit, push it in, and make sure it goes in into the sub-assembly. So it's gonna stick out, part number 18 is gonna stick out here, 17 is gonna be flush. And then we need the next one is part number 19, which is also top left corner. Also need to wax it. And make sure the gears are facing counterclockwise direction. And as you put it over, that's you looking from the top, right? So they're facing this way. And you push it all the way in until it's flat. All right, and now we need to wax all these gears. I guess you could have done it before. But once again, a rule of thumb, make sure make sure it's if it's a gear, it's waxed all around every single tooth. All right, and that's our B2. All right, step number 1 on the bottom right, we need part number 20, same board, middle on the right hand side. Two parts number 22, they're right above it, just 2 for now. And part number 21, or actually we should have probably used the ones to the left. Whichever, we're gonna get back to it. Part number 21 is a bottom right or to the left of the center line at the bottom. All right, so inside there's 2 little tabs, teeth, wax on inside this hole, and make sure the way you're facing that the one that coming up from the bottom is on the right side, the one coming up from the top is on the left, the thicker portion is on the bottom, and then part number 21 is going to go at the bottom here, the right at the center, 2 holes, and then 22 is going to be one on the right and one on the left. And then if it doesn't go in, use your helping tool just to make sure it snaps in all the way flat to the surface here of that part. Now we turn it around and we go at the same time to the page number 9, and we need 4 more parts number 22. So I'm gonna take out the ones that I was supposed to take out, and then 2 more from there. And these gonna go into the 4 holes at the top and bottom. And this time, before it went horizontal, now they're gonna go in vertically from the back. Alrighty, and the next step is step number 3. We're gonna put that one aside for a second. We're gonna take our sub-assembly A, insert our spring into the center hole right here. Make sure the gear is interlocking. And then we're gonna take our assembly that we just made, and with the side where the part number 21 is, it's gonna go into here. One hint is that if you wax these little tabs, it will help it to insert much easier into the corresponding holes. And now we need to make sure the gear snaps into these little tabs, and it is flat. These parts are completely in on that side, and then we need to lock it with gear number 23, which is on little subboard here, 1A. Don't forget to wax that gear. And put it over that little B2 subassembly. All right, now we need to make sure that when we're moving, it does move and clicks. There you go. It's going to be a little bit easier. So now all the full subassembly moves here, and that's going to be our B3. Work it in a little bit. I can feel the spring, so finger's gonna hurt slightly, but this is the whole excitement. Let me double check. We're still good. Continue recording. Step number 1 on the bottom left of page number 9. We need parts number 18. They're a little bit below middle on the left hand side, 2 of them. We're going to need part number 25, which is on 1A on that little board, and part number 26, which is also there, so we can pitch the rest. And then part number 24. 24s are right here. They're right next to it. We need both of them. They're a little bit below middle to the left of the center line. All right, and now make sure 26 is waxed, all the teeth. Make sure 25 is waxed, all teeth. Make sure part number 18 is waxed all around. Okay, and now 24 is going to go together. First, we're going to go, let's do 25 first. And then 26 is from the other side. And then 18 and 18 on both sides. Nice and flat. And that's our sub-assembly. We're going to take our B3 in step number 2, and that with the larger gear 26 towards the outside, we're going to put it over this little gear here, interlocking. And then we're going to need part number 27, which is a little bit below the middle on the left hand side. With a hole at the top, we're going to go over this, and we're going to put it over these 4 little tabs to lock this gear in. Everything is lined up, and then you should be able to snap it all around. All right, and then the next step, we need step number 3, we need part number 28, which is in the bottom left here of board number 1, and part number 29, which is going to be on the left hand side. So this is right hand side, a little below the middle. This one's long part and most likely fragile. We do have a spare just in case, but be careful not to use it. 28 is going to go into these 2 little holes at the top, and then 29 is going to go with the first, with the tab sticking out at the top, with the first cut out into the opening, and then it's going to snap into the hole in the middle, kind of locking everything in. And we need to, that's going to be B4, and we're going to need to turn it around 180 degrees, moving on the page number 10. All right, page number 10. We need step number 1, we need part number 30. And that one's still on board number 1, top left. It's kind of like a little hook shaped. And let's see, where does it go? It's going to go all around, and this little tab's going to go into the hole on the right hand side. Let's see any other instructions. It's going to need to go all the way through and into the hole here under part number 29. We snap it in, and here it's nice and flush into this hole right here at the top. So it's not going to move anywhere, it's going to stay where it's supposed to. And it says do not snap it in, so keep it open a little bit. I'm a little bit ahead of myself, so you need part number 31. It's in the same location, top left of the board. And this is gonna need to be sanded, this portion. The flat portion on the side where the little hook is at, there's a connection point here, so we'll make sure you sand this side at the top here, and then obviously end the top above the little handle right here. So, and then we're gonna need to wax all these surfaces. Insert it in between into this little hole here, and make sure it's gonna, let's see, it's gonna be locking the gear. So with a little L towards the bottom, it's gonna go into this opening here. Make sure the handle is a little bit below that opening. And now we can snap it in. So a little bit of movement. Okay, and then let's see, a little bit confused, but let's see where we at. And so part number 31, this little hook is going to be in the hole, and then it's going to lock it in here with the little tab on the right hand side. So I was assuming that it's going to be going up and down, but I guess it's not going to be going up and down, or will it? We'll see. Part number 32 in step number 4. That's going to be on the right hand side, a little below the middle. And it's going to go around, so into the hole right here on the bottom, and locking into the hole right by the gear here. So 2 locations in the hole, and it's going to stick into here, locking it in with this little hook towards the back, or if you're looking at this gear, towards the back. Step number 5, we need part number 21 on the bottom right, and the 2 number 22s on the top right, right above the middle. And these guys gonna go right underneath the gear here. So if you need a little bit of a pressure to push it in, you can add just a bit of a wax on the edges, and then once you push it in, it's gonna go in much easier. And then 22 on the right and left hand side. Okay, and then step number 6, we need part number 34 and 33. So 34 is going to be on the top left, right next to the edge, and then 33, I saw it's a little to the left of the center line on board number 1, a little bit above the middle. All right, so we need to 2x this little tab that doesn't have the cut and the back of it, and then we need 2x this little hook on here on the part number 34. Make sure that hook is facing towards the left direction, towards the left, and then you insert part number 33 from the back with the longer portion sticking out through the part number 34. Then this is gonna go, let's see where it's gonna go, into this little hole with this tab, the back of tab of part number 33 into the hole in the middle right here. Okay, and it's going to be like a little pendulum, and then part number 35 is going to lock it all in from the front, bottom left of board number 1, by the way. So this one, we don't need to wax anything. These two airs going to go towards the left hand side, and then once again I would wax all the tabs just to make sure that it's going to be nice and easy snap. And start with the bottom, and don't be afraid to use your helping tool just to move these parts all around a little bit to get them all lined up. So this little tab on part number 33 should be in the hole. These 4 lined up and snapped in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 total. Airs to the left, and then make sure it sits nice and flush. Now we turn it around again, 90 degrees to this side. Go to page number 11, and we need to insert part number 36, which is on the top left of the board number 1. Alright, so first we're gonna need to go, and that's going from 180 degrees. It's gonna go into the hole right here, right by the arrows are at, on the back of that little plate. And then once you insert it in there, it's gonna little tab here, it's going to go through that little flat portion here, and then we just lock it in and make sure it stays. That's going to be our B5. Next step, going to need step number 1 on the top right of page number 11. We need parts number 37, 38, and 39. They're going to be a little cluster here on the to the right of the center line. So 37. Let's see, 38 and 39. I see the 39 is right next to it. It's right at the center. And where is my 38? Let's see, 41, 39, 38. 38 is a vertical part. Oh, that's why I can't find it, because I was looking for the curved one. It's at bottom right of board number 1. Okay, so a little tab on here, actually 2 tabs. There's a little dot or a hole, so that hole is going to go towards the top, and part number 37. And then 37. 37 is the one that has tab in the center, two little cutouts, and tab on the bottom here right by the curved surface. Those two tabs are gonna go facing outward, and we're gonna put the first this little part number 38 into the first hole right here, right by the two cutouts. And then 39 is gonna go on the bottom, same thing. This one doesn't have little lines right next to it. Make sure this little curved surface is facing to the right and towards you. All right, so top and bottom. Then part number 40, which is right in the middle to the left of the center line, probably with a hole towards the top, same direction as the on the other one. That's going to go into these two openings of the part on inside. Then, of course, I say make sure the hole is towards the top, and I put it the other way, and then these cutouts going to be facing you. So, and as you can see, it's a little forgiven, so we were able to reassemble it. Now we need two parts number 41. They're on board number 1 to the right of the center line. Careful taking these out, doesn't look like there's a spare. And now we have a little, there's a straight portion and a little tab on there, so this with the or straight portion here, like a little corner, so that corner has to be to the left side into this part number 38. So that's where you're putting it in. And then we squeeze it into the hole on the right side, and to part number 40 and into part number 38. Same thing on the bottom. Sure they're fully seated. All right, once you do that, we need part number 42. It's bottom right of board number 1, and this one's gonna go right into this opening here and into this little larger cutout on the bottom, just like this, like a little fork with a fork portion downward. And then we need part number 2 from our little, well, I guess it's 2, but I don't see the numbers on here. So it's little cutout, rectangular, smallest rectangular piece that you have on a little paper piece. All right, so with this one, let's see, 1, 2, 3, and a little cut off here. They're gonna go on the right hand side into parts onto the side of part number 40, and they will fit into that little slot opening in there of those parts. That's where we need to be. We need to insert it first on that side. Once you line it up, it should go all the way in. Covering almost the full surface here. Here we go. All the way in up to the surface, and then we need to wrap it around into and stick these guides into the opposite end right by the part number 38. So we need to bend that little portion a little bit, make sure it gets in there. Into this little slots on parts number 41, and then top and bottom parts number, whatever it was, 30, 47 was it, top and bottom, so it sits nice and flush on the back. All right, and that's going to be our B6. Moving on to the step number 1 at the top, a little bit to the left of the middle, and we need part number 43 on board number 1. It's the bottom right, with a fork on the right hand side facing towards you, flat piece, and 2 top holes, just like this. Next is part number B6, gonna go over this, I guess into the, is it into the slot or a little bit below it? All right, we're gonna put it aside because we need part number 44, which is bottom right, and that piece, we're gonna lock our sub-assembly in place. So tab towards you, the fork's gonna go in there, and it's gonna lock in the top and bottom, that little part. Now we're gonna turn it around 180 degrees, and then put part number 45, 46, and 47. They're still on board number 1. 45 bottom left. Once again, careful pushing this one out, because we don't have the spare parts. 45, then 46 is in the middle one. Bottom right of board number 1. And I better not break anything on this video because I do not have any spares, so I will have to wait for Ukraine to send it over, and that means the video is going to be delayed, but we're going to be as careful as possible. So 45 is going to go at the top portion here, top hole on the left hand side, snap it in, and it's going to snap into here. 46 is going to go in the middle hole, and snap into the opening. There you go. They're overlapping a little bit, so they get locking into each other, the one on the right side and the one that we're installing, or the one from the back. All right, all 3 are in, and now we need to make sure that this mechanism is moving up and down to lock this port in. Gonna do from, probably gonna need to work it in a little bit. We did wax it. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm pulling on that part up and down, so it needs to lock. Need to work it in back and forth a little bit until it nice clicking. All right, and as it works, we're all good. I used my tool to push it from the top and push it from the bottom just to get it running. So, and then step number 4, we need part number 48. That's already board number 3. That's going to be top left. Now we take out the little parts 55 on there, put it on the side, make sure you don't lose it, and then this is going to go over, so we need to turn it around with this little thing towards the back. It's going to go over with this semicircle cut out towards the left side in my case, and we're going to go over all these little tabs, which I'm going to wax to make sure that we can insert it nice and easy. Line up the tabs. All the openings, when they line up, they snap into place. And once you get all these in, you can squeeze it in from the bottom. Make sure you don't touch these because you're going to break these off. So I'm squeezing it from the bottom on every single piece to lock it in. All right, was step number 4. Step number 5, we need to have a part number 50. It's also on board number 2. This is the part in the center at the top. There is a spare 25 in there within it. So I need to move it on the side. Let's see. So the wax, where do we wax it? I guess where it shows. So we need to wax within this little mechanism. And then flip it around and wax all the way around just to be on the safe side. Okay, now we need, on the right hand side, we need part number 49 and 51. They're also, 49 is the top center and 51 is to the left, almost at the edge. So 49 needs to be waxed all around too. That's gonna go over these 2 tabs at the top first. Then we're gonna need part number 50, and then make sure the arrows are pointing clockwise direction, because if you do it upside down, it's gonna be wrong direction. And then on the top, we're gonna lock it with part number 51. All the way in, nice and flat. Move on to the page number 13, and then we need to insert 2 parts number 52. They're on board number 3. We had it within one of the parts. There's 1 spare, so we need just 2 of them. Sand the sides. And wax them. Just so it's gonna go in much easier than if you try to insert them raw without the wax. All right, so let's see. With the arrows, this little gear needs to be locking in. We're gonna go, let's see where the gear is at, that's front. So from the front, we're gonna go on the right hand side. And then from the back, we're gonna go on the left. Just insert it all the way as far as it can go. And probably center them over. Okay, so the one on the left needs to go stick out to the line, and the one on the right stick out to the line on the bottom. So there's 2 lines, like kind of like a measurement tool, I guess. All right, and then once we do that, we need part number 53, which is on board number 2, top right corner. outside needs to be sanded, and or is it flat surface? I'm gonna do the surface too, and waxed. And that's gonna go over. Let's see. Locking these two guys in, so they're not going to be able to go anywhere. That's our B7. It's pretty complex. Step number 1 on the top right corner, we need part number 54, 56. They're on board number 2. 54 and 56, and then part number 55. 55 is going to be on board number 3 within one of the circles that we had. So this little piece here, 2 parts number 55. Push them out. We have some spares on there for 55 and 52. And these guys gonna go into part number 54, into this outside rectangular or square openings. And then the thicker portion of it's going to go into part number 56. And 56 goes over the top, and we lock this in against the surface. It's going to be our key, and then that's going to go through at the top. Snapping it in. Now we need to flip it over, and on the bottom of that piece we have part number 57 on board number 3, bottom left. We'll take out the center portion of it, part number 127, spare part number 127. This is going to go where the little part drawing that we put on the right. That's going to be, let's see, on the right hand side. Our little part number 57 is going to go from the top. There's a little hook's going to be on the same side here. I'm trying to figure out the directionality, and so that hook needs to be right by that little piece of paper ends, and then we snap it onto all these little tabs that I'm gonna wax right now. Correct. And we snap it all around, locking it in. And once you're good, we flip it again. Going up on this little tab, that's gonna lock it. And then we need to rotate 7 times at 180 degrees. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, open it up, and it needs to unwind. All right, and which portion are we unwinding? What is moving? All that mechanism that we just locked in. So we need to make sure this guy, everything is moving here. everything is rotating. So I have the access only to this one gear here. I see all the gears are moving fine. Let's see. This is just winding it up. We don't want to do it over. There's a little gear here on the bottom. And you need to work these guys in. One way or the other. One way or the other. We don't want to break any gears. One of the gears is stuck. Which one it is? So that's what I'm trying to figure out. So it's going this direction is fine. Here we go. Alright, so this large gear right here in the center, it's going to rotate, if you're looking at it from the shorter end, it's going to rotate clockwise direction to unwind. So what I did to start moving, I pushed it backwards a little bit, counterclockwise, let it go because it's on spring, so it gives a little bit more amortization towards the back, and then eventually start working. So now we need to work in that mechanism to make sure that it works completely. So lock it in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Unlock it. Should unwind all the way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Unwind all the way, and you should not hear any hesitation. So if you want the mechanism to work properly, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. A little bit at the end. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, so it should be good enough. But once again, you need to make sure that it unwinds all the way, doesn't get stuck. If it does, you need to work it in a little bit more. All right, next step, we're on page number 14. We need part number 58, 59, and 60. So all those, let's see, they could be on any of the boards. Let's check board number 3 first. 62 I see here, so it's not on here. Let's check board number 2. I got port number 59 on board number 2, is the top left corner. Just one. And then port number 58 and 60 is going to be on board number 4. Let's see, 60 is bottom left. And port number 58, it's on the left hand side, a little bit below the middle at the edge. All right, so port number 58 with the painted surface facing towards you. It's gonna go through the first hole on 59, and while the little cutout is up, just like this, all the way. And then port number 60 is going to go over it, locking it in. And then we need to wax these 2 tabs here that are sticking out. Now we're going to need to, let's see, take a metal spring. There was one. I think these are 2 combined. Unless it's just one spring. I don't think so. I'm not sure if we need, yeah, we need 2 at least. So these are, in my case, they got stuck together, so I need to separate them. Somehow. It's taken a little bit. Here you go. Here you go. Yep. They got stuck together, so I need to find a way without damaging them, obviously, because if I'm gonna stretch it out, I could get it. There's more than 2 in here. It's like 3 or maybe 4. Oh, at least. Almost lost it, but I didn't. So I got at least 2 more in here. So I got 1 pulled out. Ah, this one is tough. All right, so let's do 1 spring first, because we need to get to the second one. Put that one aside. So that's gonna go in here. We're gonna turn it around. It's gonna go right in the middle. We're gonna turn it around. And this is gonna go from the bottom here. B8. Oh, that's a tough one. So put the spring onto this little tab. You guys make sure it's nice and straight. Or make sure it's on the tab. And then we're gonna go carefully not to lose the spring. Pushing it inside. So this little part, little sub-assembly stays in there. Oh, we needed to wax it. Great. I noticed it afterwards. So spring is still on there. I need to wax these little ends on port number B8. And now we insert the spring. Carefully make sure it stays on there. Just like this, and we're gonna hold it. I'm gonna hold it down just to be on the safe side. be careful with it. We need another part number 58, which is on board number 4 on the right hand side, a little below the middle now. That's the second one, and we need another part number 59, which was on board number 2, top left. So hold this down. We need to insert that part number 58 from the other side first. All the way in, and that's where the helping tool will come into play. Kind of work it in a little bit, press it in, and now part number 59 facing up. We're gonna go over these parts number 58 on the left and right hand side. I'm afraid to lose that spring. Make sure it's all the way in. And then the spring still in there, still operational. And now we need part number 61 again. Also bottom right. Oh, that was 60, now it's a 61. I guess. Wax this one little long tab. Did I insert this from the right side? No, it should have been the other way around. So I'm gonna try to not sure if the directionality matters, but it seems like it does, because you have two parts, holes on the right, so I'm redoing it because, am I doing it right? No, we're still good. No, we're not. So, because part number 60 and part number 61 are two different ones. So we need to flip it. So this needs to be, the 60 is going to go on the opposite end. I'm not sure if it matters or not, but just to be on the safe side, I'm remaking it. Risky, but I just want to be, don't want to make a mistake. All right, so this one, now we're ready. That's going to be from the side where this little cover is at. And then we need the second spring. So I need to fish it out whether I want it or not. And while at it, I'll make sure that we're still recording. All right, let's see. Was able to do it. So I have 3 springs. I don't know if it's spare or not, but that one's going to go on part number 61, same as it did on 60, and then we can insert it on the other end to lock it in. Almost lost it. Looks like once you put it on that little tab, it's gonna somewhat stay in there, so which is a good thing. We insert it a little bit under the angle, and then once we get it in, then we snap it onto the sub-assembly. So now this portion is going to be a little bit of a movement. Work it in a little. That should go up and down, theoretically. Next, step number 8 is parts number 62, and all of those are on board number 3. A little below the middle on the left hand side, we need all 4. And then part number 63 and 64. We're back. 63 is on board number 3 in the bottom here. There's 2 parts number 5 within it, so we're gonna take these guys out. And then part number 64 is only painted, right? On the right hand side, bottom right. Take it out, and then take out the centerpiece, which is part number 62. All right, this was 63 is first, and let's see. These gonna go into the 4 holes on the sides here. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 63 is gonna go on first over these little parts. And then we're gonna lock it up with 64 on top, which is a little smaller. This gonna still have to have a little bit of a movement, and we need to play with it until it does. So that's our B9, and that's where it shows that it has to have that little mechanical motion on the spring motion. Work it in. Okay, and moving on to page number 15. All right, step number 1 in the top left corner. We have parts number 65, 5, 66, and 9. All right, so 66 is a little bit above the middle on the left-hand side of board number 3. Part number 9 is right above it. Part number 65 is going to be on the bottom left of the same board. And part number 5 was within this little part number 63 side, so we have it out right here. There's some spare ones, so I'm sure there's plenty. So as always, part number 5 needs to be waxed. And then put onto part number 65 all the way up to the little step there. Part number 66, we do need to wax every single tooth. All around. And then part number 9 also needs to be waxed and placed inside of part number 66. Just like this. Now we're going to take our sub-assembly. We're going to put number 9 and 66 inside and lock it with the gear that is on in the assembly. So you need to rotate it a little bit to make sure it locks in. interlocks with the gear, and then insert port number 2, subassembly number 2, step number 2, through port number 9 there, all the way. Ooh, not that far. Next, step number 4, so careful not to kick this out yet. Step number 4, we need part number 5 on the other side, which needs to be waxed. Kind of locking it in. All the way, flush with these outside surface. And part number 67, looks like it's on a smaller board, top left side. On board number 2, do we need to exit? No, it's going to go from the end, opposite end of this little cover. And that's where port number 68 is going to go onto, which is on board number 4. And the bottom, a little bit to the left of the center line. This one's going to go upside down with the drawing towards the outside and onto the part number 65, interlocking here, I guess. All right, that's our B10. Gonna put it on the side now. Now we need 4 of the washers, silicone washers that we had on there. I remember seeing those all the way in the beginning. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we need parts number 6, because we need to make 2 of them. We're gonna need, let's start with 1. So we need 4 washers. We need part number 6, 69, and 70. All right, so let's see, on board number 2, we got parts number 71, which we don't need just yet. 70 is on here. That's on the bottom here. 1, I'll pull both of them. 2 of 69s and 2 of 6s. Board number 3 is going to have 2 number 6s at the top here. 1, 2, and 2 69s. 69 is going to be bottom right. Board number 3. Check recordings, we're still good. As before, you're gonna need to clean in between the teeth. So if the little helping tool is not helping, I use paper clip that I had from previous assemblies. Just grab anyone, make sure you clean up in between the teeth. All right, so let's see. Obviously you need to wax every single tooth. Part number 70 is the thinner one. Alright, so both of these gonna go on to part number 69. One from one end, the other one's from the other end. They're gonna kind of interlock, then washers on the ends. And because we need to make 2, that's what we're doing. holes. And now we need part number 71 on both of these. Get number 271 is on the bottom left. And then we need 4 number 5s. And number 5 is going to be, let's see, on board number 3 on the left hand side, a little below the middle. We need 4. Wax number 5s. One, 2, 3, and 4. And let's do 71s first on both ends, and then lock it up with part number 5. Same thing on the other one, 71, both ends. Lock it up with part number 5. All right, and then now these gonna go into step number 3, into B10, right into the holes of part number 68 and interlocking with the gear that is on the bottom here. Moving on to the page number 16, part number 67 is on the board number 2, top left. And it's going to go onto this little tab that is sticking out. And then part number 68 on the bottom, a little bit to the left of the center line of board number 4. Over these little gears. Just like this. And now part number 72, we lock it in the step number 5, we lock it from both ends. Bottom right of board number 4. So we need 2 parts number 72. And wax these little tabs to make it easier. And they're going to be with the short little tabs, going to be towards the top. Side and the other side, and make sure the painted surface is towards the outside. Locking it in. All right, we're good. And then over the top in step number 6, we're gonna put part number 73, which is on board number 4 right at the center here, and we need to take 84s out. And that one's gonna go over the top. A little bit of a wax. To snap it in. All the way nice and flat. All the way in, all good. Now we need to put part number 62, 2 of them. They're on board probably number 4. Yes, they are. They were. Right, we pulled it out earlier, so you should have it. Wrong helping tool. So they're gonna go, 62 is gonna go onto this top little hole Probably wax it a little bit because we're going to put parts over it. Part number 74, and those are on board number 4, and we need 2 of them, so 2 for each side. So we got a little bit below the middle. Sorry, I'm reading into the instructions while trying to cut these out. I'm trying to figure out what's that exclamation point. So top and bottom. We're going to insert it from right and left. There's little lines. Okay, I guess we're good. So 2 on each side. Lock it in. All right, step number 8, we need part number 75 and 76. They're also on board number 4. 75 is on the left hand side, and 76 on the right hand side. So 76 gonna go on left. From one side. 75 is on the right. Oh, they're in sets. So just to make sure that 75 and 76, one is on the right, one is on the left, and the painted surface is gonna be towards you. So that's the way you figure out which one is which. Okay, and now we need to make sure that I guess it moves. So let's see if that's the winding mechanism is the same. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, it doesn't. So I need to work it in a little bit. As I'm looking at this lock, the large gear here, I'm pushing it counterclockwise to unwind it. Lock it in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we need to work it in until it's moving freely. These wheels are spinning. 4, 5, 6, 7. Once again, you want it working until it spins freely all the way through and unwinds completely. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's a little hesitation, so 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Almost all the way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, looks good. Moving on to the page number 17. Let's see, we're gonna start with a side that doesn't have this little portion, right? And we need part number 1, actually, on the side that does have this little cover. So we need part number 1. This is the piece with the little tab sticking out. And then we're gonna insert it on the left-hand side first into these little 3 holes. 1, 2, and 3. Wrap it around. We need to feed it into the. Why would I want it? Need to push it here. And bend it. What do you want me to do with it? Here. Oh, twist it sideways, I guess. To lock it in. All 3, just one at the top and a bottom. So we insert this little piece and then twist it to the side to lock it in so it doesn't unlock. This little piece has to be just a little to the side to unlock it, to lock it in. We don't touch the middle piece. Then we wrap it around. We need to get this tall piece and do the same thing there, and at the same time get these into the slots. 1, 2, 3 slots here. This one into the slot 2 to lock it in all the way. And now we need to insert this one into the slot and do the same thing on the other end at the bottom, and we just twist it to lock it in to make sure it doesn't unwind. Nice and pretty. So what you do is that you grab on that little piece closer to the bottom, and you just twist it towards the top so it doesn't pull out once we assemble the full piece. All right, step number 18, or page number 18, we're doing the similar thing. We just need to open this little guide, little door hatch that we had, and then we insert the other part number 3. This is the whiter piece. The other one was easy. Here, this one, let's see, this is extra. So this little on the bottom, this little darker spot, and then we insert it from the other end. On the top. So this portion is going to need to go in first. And then we do the same thing on the other ones. So this one's going to twist up. The other two, we're going to twist down towards the center there. I'm not going to break them down. Just get them twisted, and then the top piece we twist it up. So the same thing with this guy. Just to lock it in, these guys towards the center. And wrap it around. We close the hatch. We wrap it around. Take this little centerpiece out. A little too many steps, and I'm afraid that we're running out of space. Now we're still good. So I need to take that little centerpiece out right here for the hole. Stick that little opening through there. Careful. Wrap it around, and then we need to insert these guys into the slots. Same slots, push it in. Then it comes out on the other side. And then here, the same thing, we need to insert this little tab with the hole and then twist it up so they don't slide out, all three of them this time. Just like this, so they stick up, and that's our B. Whew. All right, hopefully that was easy for you guys. A little bit nerve-wracking for me, but we're all good to go. All right, next step, we're on page number 20. We need part number 77 and 78, 2 of 78s. And they're both on board number 4. 77 is the top left. And 78 is going to be, let's see where the 78 are at. On board number 3, top right. We need 2 of them. Wax inside of part number 77 from inside, not where the drawing is, like right by the fork. Then insert 77, 78 into the bottom holes here. Looks like a key. Then we need part number 79. This is going to be on board 79. On board number 4, top left corner. And 2 more of the 78s. On board number 3, top right. And that's going to get into the 79. Now into the vertical direction. Like this. Step number 3, we're going to insert it from the back into this rectangular opening right here, right by the top. Then we need to insert part number 80, which is on board number 3 and top right corner. These like weird looking parts. And then we're gonna need to lock it with port number 81, which is a little bit above the middle on the left or right hand side of board number 4. So 80, need to wax these little gears, I guess, or whatever you want to call them. And then it's gonna go right in the center here into the fork. And we're gonna lock it with number 81. Next step, we need part number 82. We're gonna take our little R2-D2 with it on off at the towards U. We start with the right hand side. We need part number 82, which is board number 3, top right corner, right below the 83s, and then 83 is right above, so we need that too. Both of them need to be waxed. So 82 first, gonna go over this little tab as far as it can go. Then we're gonna need for number the little sub-assembly that we just made all the way in, and then lock it up with 83. That's gonna need to be flush. And then we lock it up with 84. 84 is gonna be on, let's see, where's 84? 84 is gonna need to be painted, so has to be on board number 4. And it's like a half circle. Where's that? That was in the center here. We took it out a little bit earlier, so I should have it on the side. So from the back, we're gonna lock it in. All the way. And then we need another part number 85. Top right of board, we're step number 6 now. Top on the bottom of page number 20. Top right is part number 85. We're gonna need that, and part number 86. So 86, that's gonna be on the board number 4 and the top left corner. So 85 is gonna go into this little hole. We need to wax it, and we need to put it vertically. So this little flat portions is top and bottom. And then 86 over it to lock it in. So once we lock it in, we need parts number 88, 87, 89, and 90. So part number, that's step number 1 on the bottom right. And those are on board number 4, so 88 is bottom left. 87 is going to be, let's see, top right. Sorry for a little confusion here. Got all kinds of things going on around me. So 87 on the top right of board number 3. 89 is right next to the left. And then 90 is on the right hand side of bottom right of board number 4. Alright, so 88 first. 87 is going to go inside the little hole. Then 89 with the tap towards the bottom. This little tap with the slice away. And then 890 is going to lock it on the other side. on to the page number 21. This is going to go right at the top here into the center hole. And we're going to need to put 91 underneath it. So 91 is going to be on board number 4, bottom left. Oh, sorry, a little below the middle on the left hand side. So this is going to go over the holes here, or tabs. And we're going to lock it, or not lock it, it doesn't lock. I kind of like connecting onto C1. All right, step number 3, we need part number 92 on board number 3, bottom right. That's gonna go inside that little hole here. Through the part that we inserted, and then 93 from the back. 93 is gonna be on the bottom, board number 4. Where's 93? Is it board number 4? Oh no, it's board number 3, top right, 93. That's going to go into the center hole, that port number 92, from inside of R2-D2. So just line it up and insert it over. Make sure it's nice and flush, just like this. Put it aside. Step number 5, we need parts number 94, bottom right of board number 3. We're going to need 2 of them. Parts 95, we're going to need, their bottom right here, we're going to need 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then parts number 5, we need 4, bottom. On the left hand side, a little below the middle, 4 parts. So number 5, we're going to need to wax them. And then number 95, we need to sand all around on the outside of the part. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Just removing these little connection points. All right, so they're gonna go part number 5, locking it in, 3 95s, 1, 2, and 3, and part number 5 to lock it in from the other end. Same thing with the second one. And we got 2 wheels here. All right, they're gonna go into our sub-assembly, insert it on the bottom here, into part number 93, and lock it up with the second 93 at the top right corner of board number 3. That's our C1. Moving on to the page number 22. I'm going to put it on the side. We need one of the rubber bands that we had, the black one. Need to cut it in half. Step number 1 on page number 22. Just one side, not in half, but one side. Need a part number 96. 96 going to be on board number 4. A little right in the middle on the left hand side. And we're going to need to go through these two holes. So push it all the way, one end from one hole and the other one through the other one from the back. Back is not painted side. So push it in. So they both sticks out. And then this is going to go over 93 from the front. So this is the front side. And then part number 97 is going to go from the back. It's on a little bit above the middle on the left hand side. And it's going to go from the back. Just like that. Then we need part number 98 in step number 3, which is going to be at the top here at the center. Take out part number 99 from the center. And with the holes towards the back, with that little copyright towards the inside, it's going to go right. Need to wax it a little bit, run into the slag. Make sure everything is sitting flush. I'm gonna put a little bit of wax on here and insert it over. All the way in until it snaps in. Make sure the wheels are moving nice and good. And from the side, we're gonna put part. We're gonna do part number 99 and 3 100s. So they're all on board number 4. 99 we already pulled out, and it was within 98. And then we need 3 100s. One, their bottom to the left and center. Please, that's the one that I'm using. Make sure these guys are sticking out, and then we're going to go from inside. We're going to put part number 99 in, and then 100 over it all the way to the surface. 1, 2, and 3. And once we're done with that, step number 5, we need part number 101. It's bottom left. We're gonna lug that mechanism into here. Just like this. Then step number 6, we need part number 102. That's bottom left here. And then with 102, these little two rubber band ends, they're gonna need to go around and to the front into these two little holes. So the closest one's gonna do in a hole on the left, and the further one in a hole on the right. sharp point towards the top. This one's on the right. And let's see where they're gonna go. All right, they're gonna need to be loose a little bit. Gonna move them towards the top into the sharp point. To lock it in. Next step, number 7, we need parts. So they're in here, and I just move them up a little bit into the sharp. Step number 7, we need part number 103 and 104. 104 is bottom left. 103 is at the center, at the middle. And then 104 is going to go from the back with the tabs, these 2 tabs toward the bottom. It's going to go on the left hand side, over, from the back, just like this. Make sure it snaps all the way in, flush. And then let's see port number 105 on both sides. So 105 is bottom left, a little below the middle here, 105. They're gonna go on the right and left hand side. To the page number 25. We need to spread these open a little bit. Let's see, the tabs are towards the bottom. Need to get this in here. It in. All the way. Make sure it's nice and flush. And then this is going to go with 2 tabs into these portions. I'm going to wax these 2 tabs, and they're going to go into the holes on the inside of the lag. So just screws it in there and push it in once you get them lined up. The holes. So it's going to look like this. Have the 2 wires sticking out, and we're on C is completed. We're on step number 1 on the bottom left of page number 23. Got a little bit left, but I don't think I'll be able to finish it in one sitting. So let's take a pause, and I guess I'll get back to you tomorrow. All right, we're back with the assembly on page number 23, step number 1. Need part number 77. We're on board number 4, top right corner. Pull it out. 2 parts number Let's see, what is it? 78. 78 is going to be on board number 3, top right. Just need 2 for now. Kind of similar as in the previous assembly. And we need 2 wax inside of this little circle at the top. Just wax it up. And then from the back we put 78s in. They're going to go horizontal. And then step number 2, we need part number 79, which is in the top right corner of board number 4. And then parts number 78 again, the other 2, in the top right corner of board number 3. So now, also from the back, not from the painted surface, and now they're going to go vertical. So the flat white portion is in vertical direction, like this. Now, step number 3, we're going to need to bring this subassembly through the 77. There's 2 rectangular openings there on the bottom. Then we need part number 80, which is in, let's see, top right of board number 3. I need to wax that little part, all these little gears. And that's going to go with the flat portion up and down, flat surfaces looking up and down. You can insert it right in the middle here into that little circle that we had. And then lock it up with part number 81. And this is top right, a little bit above the middle on the right hand side of board number 4. And we lock it over these 4 tabs. You can wax them a little bit for the parts to go in easier and snap it in. Next, step number 4, we need part number 82 and 83. Let's see, also on board number 3, they're top right. 82 is on the bottom, 83 is on the top. Wax on the outside of it, and 82 is going to go first. Now on the other side of R2-D2, over this little arm that is sticking out, and all the way in. Need to put a little bit of wax on here. All the way. Then the little sub-assembly over part number 82. And then we're going to lock it with number 83, which also needs to be waxed. For some reason I thought I did, but just to make sure, we're going to also wax it and insert it to make sure it's all the way flat to the surface of the sub-assembly. Moving on to page number 24. We need part number 84, we had it out. So just pull it out from the little rectangle. And we insert it from the front over this little part that is sticking out. And if you can't use your fingers, use the little helping tool just to move it forward. So make sure it's seated all the way in. And now our next step, number 6, we need part number 86, which is on board number 4, top right corner. That's gonna go over, and we need, let's see, wax part number 85. That's gonna go on the bottom here. So part number 85 is on board number 3, top right. It's within this little rectangular spot space. And 85, we pull it out first. Need to wax it all around. And then 85 also with the flat surfaces up and down. It's going to go in this little spot right here. Little slot on the bottom. And we're going to put part number 86 over it. all the surfaces are flat and completely seated, and that's our D1. Next step, we need part number 87, which was on the same little board that we just pulled 86 from. And then parts number 88, 89 is the top right of board number 3, and 88 and 90, it's going to be on board number 4 on the right hand side on the bottom, and 80 and 90 is on the left hand side on the bottom. So we have our 87 going into 88 all the way. 89 is going to go over it with a tap towards the back, and 90 is going to lock it up on the other side. Make sure the painted surfaces are towards the outside, and then this little part's going to go at the top here. I'm going to put a little bit of a wax just to make sure it goes in easy and smooth. And then part number 91, it's on that little below the middle on the right hand side. It's going to go on the bottom 2 tabs of the leg or arm, just like this. That's step number 3. We need part number 92. That's the bottom right of board number 3. And that's going to go through the hole here on the bottom. And then part number 93, board number 3, it's on the middle on the right hand side. We're going to need both of them eventually, but just take one out for now. And this was going to go the top hole from the back, from inside into that part number 92. Make sure it's nice and flat. So it's there. All right, let's see, moving on to the page number 25. Now we need to make our little wheels again. Step number 5, we need 2 parts number 94, bottom right of board number 3. We're recording, great. And then 6 parts 95, top bottom right of board number 3, and 2 parts number 5. That's going to be 4 parts, so that's going to be on the left hand side, and we need to wax all these 4 parts bottom left of board number 3. All right, so let's wax number 5's first. Now we need to sand to make sure to remove all the connection points on parts number 95. You don't need to like sand it very well, just to make sure we don't create any flat spots on there. So just one run over the surface, as I said, just to remove the connection points. They kind of probably could interfere with the movement as it's rolling down the street. All around. Done. And let's see, so we do part number 5 first onto the part number 94, and then insert 3 of the 95s, and then lock it up with another part number 5 on the back, Same thing with the second one. And done. All right, now insert these two wheels in step number 6 into part number 93. So it sits in there. And then we take, in step number 7, we take the second part number 93, which is on the right hand side in the middle there, and put it over these wheels, locking them in. All right, that's our D2, step number 1 on the bottom of page number 25. We need another rubber band there, cut it in half, or just one cut, not in half, sorry. Then we need part number 106. That's on board number 4 in the middle on the right hand side. That's the bottom part. And then we push the rubber band through these two holes. Round holes, and we push it all the way in, and that's going to go in the front on the same side that's as the other one, over parts number 93. And then we're going to put part number 107 on the back. Also on the right hand side in the middle of board number 4. And put a little bit of wax on the tabs here. And put the part all the way in. Make sure it's nice and seated. And then step number 3, we got part number 108. It's on board number 4, right at the center at the top there. We're going to need that 99 a little bit later, so pull it out for now. And then the two holes going to be towards the center, and that's how we're going to put it over. Once again, tabs, a little bit of wax on there just to make sure that it goes nice and smooth. Make sure it's seated with these little parts sticking out just a little bit. All right, moving on to page number 26. Need part number 99, the one that we just pulled out. So take it out. A little bit of wax on that will make it easier to insert all these little parts. Put it into the little hole that is on the bottom of that foot, leg. And then part number 100, they're on board number 4 on the bottom there. One, two, three. 3 parts number 100 go into the leg. And then we need, in step number 5, we need part number 101. It's on the right, bottom right of board number 4. And that goes inside here in the leg, locking it in. Now next step, number 6, we need part number 102. 102 is on the, let's see, bottom left, almost by the edge there. And same as in the previous assembly, we just need to put, let's see, from the front, so the one that is closer into the closer hole, and one that's further into the furthest hole, further from the center, or from the center of R2-D2, and we just lift them up a little bit, keeping the slack there. Now our next step is 7. We need parts number 104, that's the bottom, a little bit to the right of the center. 2 105s, they're a little below the middle on the right hand side. And then part 103 is right in the center here, right below the middle. So 104 is going to go into the back with the tabs towards the bottom. Well, at this point it doesn't matter, but and the painted surface towards the outside. So we put part number 104 and then 105s on the left and the right hand side of that part number 104. And then once we assemble it, we're gonna spread it open a little bit and insert part number 104, whatever that 102 from the front. Lock it in, and now this is going to go into inside. We're going to put a little bit of a wax on here. That's going to go into the inside and lock into that bottom piece, into the 2 corresponding holes, just like this. So that's facing the front. Now the R2-D2 is nice and stable, and that's our D. Alright, moving on to page number 27. Now we need to cut out the projections. They're not falling out, so we need to cut them. And let's remember the first grade little light here is not helping. Should let my kids cut it. They're probably going to do a better job than me. Let's get all the extra parts out, and that one's got a little more on the bottom. All right. And let's see, corners. I need to put it somewhere where I can see it. Probably not a good idea for this guy. Piece of paper, there we go. Little corners here too, so they're not sharp too. I might have to cut it because I can't see those lines very well. So possibly cut it a little more once we're done. It's part of the instructions, gotta do it. All right, one more. Last one. It's Princess Leia here, and then the last one is just a Star Wars logo. And that's it. All right, let's clean out that garbage a little bit. Make sure it's not on the way. All right, we got 9 of these guys. Next step is number 3. We need to pull out B6. Open this little compartment. And then there's little tweezers that we can grab. It's hidden in there that we can grab those cards. And let's see, now we need step number 6. We need parts number 111, 110, and 109, 110, and 111. Let's see, board number 2 is part number 109, top right, a little bit to the right and up of the center line, and then parts number 111 and 111 is on the board number 3, a little below the middle on the right hand side, and 110 is the top right here. So we're gonna take 109, we're gonna wax on the inside here, these 2 surfaces, inside the little square like top and bottom surface. We're gonna have 111 with a little tap to the right side to this little opening while this angled down. And then 110, we also need to wax these surfaces as we're coming in, the little rectangles or little stairs there, steps, with the tap towards the bottom. We're going to come in from the back into part number 110. It should be moving forward and back. And I'm going to move it towards the back, the 110. Now we take, with the tweezers, we take one of the logos. I'm going to take the same one as they do in here. So we're going to take the Star Wars with a little cut off towards the top. And we're going to put it here. And when you're going to need another 110 to lock it in. So that's the top right of board number 3. Same thing, we're going to need to wax these little steps here. And with the tab down, we're going to bring it in and lock it into 109, what is it, 108, 111. And I have a cat coming in, exploring. All right, the reason why we needed to make sure that we have a spacing in between and we can insert this little piece. Now we can take it out and put it on the side. And this is our E1. And the next steps, 29, pages 28 and 29, we just need to insert all these little icons, or whatever you want to call them, projections. We need to insert them into the inside here, into that storage compartment. So I don't know if I want to use the tweezers. That is what's recommended. I'm just going to use them all. All these little cards. Put them all in one way. Come on, Pizza. Get in. My cat is trying to get into the room and see what's going on here. And can't really put it by hand. I'm just going to do it by one by one, because otherwise they're going to fall out. This one's not cut completely. they'll go inside, and then we kind of lock them in with that little tweezers. All right, and put it back inside. Close it up. Moving on to the page number 30. Now we need part number 112. That's on, let's see, board number 2, top left corner. Need to wax these little teeth. And then insert that subassembly E1 with the tab on the 111. Goes into that 112, and then the opening, the cutout of 110. 110 goes into the cutout of 112, and then you should move like this with a little slot in there. I'm going to use one of the cutoffs that I did just to make sure that the slot is still there. Yep. Separated a little bit. I used one of the pieces that I cut off. All right, next step number 2. We need parts number 114, 113, and 115. They're all on board number 2. 113, 114, right in the middle, and 115. So 114 from the bottom. It's going to go into, I guess, 108. With the tab towards the front. The other one, 111, 113 is from the top. Make sure it's all seated. And then 115 is going to go with the opening towards you on the right hand side. Now we're going to turn it around, and on the back we're going to have part number 116 and 117. So 116 a little to the left of the center line, and 117 is right below it on board number 2. Just like this. And the next step, number 4, we need part number 118. It's on board number 4 on the bottom left. let's see. I'm sure there is a directionality. I'll lay him down. All right, so there's the number on the part should be facing this way. So there's rectangular holes, 1, 2, 3. So they're gonna go 1, 2, 3. 2 are horizontal and 1 is vertical. Gonna put a little bit of wax on these guys. Now we're gonna turn it around. And 109, 119 and 120. Let's see, they're on board number 2. 119 and 120. They're gonna go in first. So 119 is first, it's got 1 dot. It's gonna go into slide into the opening here. All the way. And then 120 is the next one. Into the opening. Make sure it sits nice and flat in there. Now we need to put a lens into these openings and then lock it up with part number 119. That's 1 dot. Seated inside. Moving on to the page number 31, and then we lock it up with part number 121, which is on board number 4, bottom left. And this one's going to go with the little thinner piece towards the top left. And over, that's our E2. Alrighty, step number 1, top a little bit to the right of the middle on page number 31. We need parts number 123, 124, 122, 123, and 124. They're all on board number 3. Let's see, 123 is going to be right at the center to the left of the center line a little bit in the middle. 124 is to the left. And 122 is a little to the left of the center line, below the middle. There's a couple of spare parts within, and so take those out. And then 123 with a circle towards 122. It's going to go in a hole that is closest to you. And then 124 arching up, middle hole. It's going to go into the other side of part number 124. Step number 2, we need parts number 125 and 126. Let's see, 125 is on the middle, on the left-hand side of board number 3. And 126 is right at the center, a little bit to the right maybe. So we need 2 wags. Part number 126. And then shorter tab of port number 125, and that's going to go through 126. And then we need 127s. 127s, we have a spare, and we should have a few on the bottom right of port number 4. These going to go through the hole of port number 123 from the bottom. And then 127 is on the top. And they should stay at the top there. Next, we're going to need to, step number 3, we're going to need to bring and lock the subassembly onto the E2. So lenses away, part number, we're going to turn it around a little bit, and it's going to go, the long part 122 is going to go across into these two holes, rectangular, not the ones that are diagonal, but rectangular. So I'm going to put a little bit of wax on here, or there's one diagonal on all 3. And we're going to insert it all the way through. All right, next step from the back, we're going to do the light. So part number 128, 129, they're on board number 3. So 128 bottom left, and 129 is a little below the middle on the right hand side. So 128 first. And then 129. Let's put the light bulb first. All right, where's the light bulb? Make sure the positive terminal is on the bottom. And we're going to insert that here. I'm trying to figure out if the light bulb needs to sit. All the way in, or is it a little sticking out is okay. needs to squeeze it on a thicker portion, looks like it, so the light bulb wouldn't go anywhere. All right, so I just brought it in a little bit. You have a spare one just in case, and it's locking it in. And now we need to take, let's see, bring it upside down. We need to take one terminal, the positive terminal, bring it up. Bring it up. All right, I need to replace this guy. And it broke. Part number 129. Not only I inserted it incorrectly, it also broke. A little below the middle on the right hand side. Go back one page. I'm afraid to break the second one. At the same time, I'm trying to figure out if it needs to stay in there or not. Let's see. It needs to be within that part. to open it up a little bit. Okay, make sure the opening is on the left-hand side. The positive terminal is on the bottom. And then we open it up slightly. Ooh, never mind. There's flat surface on there, so positive is on the left. That's where I'm confused, right? So there's a flat surfaces on a lamp, on a light bulb, and then it needs to go right inside that part. Positive terminal is going to be on the left, negative on the right. Positive's got that little cutout for it. And then it's going to go in nice and easy. And first we bend negative terminal down up until the surface, and as it's facing down, you turn it upside down a little bit. You use this little helping tool and make sure it's flat towards the surface of it. You twist it to the left or towards you if you're holding the same way as you are, and then we're going to go right underneath it and twist it one more time to make like a little U shape. Okay, and the light bulb came out, so you can get this out. Reassemble. Now we twist it one more time to lay it flat on the surface here. All right, and then the positive terminal, we just push it through this little opening here and make sure it goes up straight. So that's step number 7. We're step number 8, need part number 130. It's the bottom a little bit to the right of the center line. And then the hole's going to be, turn it upside down, the hole should be on the right hand side with these 2 terminals towards you, and we insert with the light bulb one of the terminal going through the hole on the left, the positive one. Make sure it's seated all the way. Terminals are lined up in these openings and everything is seated. The light bulb is seated in there, so this is the way it's supposed to be. And moving on to the page number 33, now we need to take and positive terminal, do the same thing. So we flip it upside down and away from you. We're going to twist it to the right, similar fashion as we did with the negative one. It should be flat to the surface at the top there. one, and then one more time right underneath it to make it a U shape. We do it one more time, and now we bring this little tool towards the terminal, and we twist it one more time, and it should be flat against the surface of that part that we just installed, whatever the number on it, against the terminal, and then we twist it one more time to the right towards this little part here. All right, our next step is part number 131, that's step number 10, part number 131 and 132. So 132 is bottom left of board number 3. We have a spare one just in case, and then 131 is going to be on the left hand side right in the middle there. So we need to wax these little tabs of part number 132, and this shorter tab, or the one that's coming off of the flat surface, is going to go through 131 through the hole all the way in, and then we install it right next to the light, pushing in. Light's going to be on the bottom, and insert into this little hole on the bottom right here, pushing on this little wire. And then as we install it, we need to snap it at the top, and we need to make sure this little guy works. Goes forward and back. All right, going on to the page number 34. We need two parts for number 131. They're top right, or actually in the middle right, and these gonna get installed on the back here. I'm gonna wax these little tabs, and they're gonna go on the side of the light through the slots into the top, 1 and 2. And that's our E3. I'm going to turn it upside down. Step number 1 in the middle here. Need parts number 133 and 4 number 134s. 133 is going to be top left. And 134s, they're going to be within this little circle here. We need 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. 2, 3, 4. The other 2 are spares. So they're going to go into one. We're going to turn it with the lens towards you, and that's how 133 is going to go in. So the dot should be on the right hand side, right next to this hole right there. So just as an indicator which way this part number 133 needs to go in. And then 134s, I'm going to wax them a little bit just to make sure they slide in very nice and easy all the way in. insert it into these 4 holes. Next step, number 2, we need part number 135. That's going to be on board number 2, top right. Carefully, because this one is a fragile part and we need 2 wax on inside. And that's going to go towards the right, lens towards you. It's going to go over towards the right side. With a space in between, and then 136 is going to lock it all up. It's going to be the center of board number 3. Pull all these parts out, and let's see. That's going to go onto these tabs, which I'm going to wax. With the copyright logo towards the back here. Having trouble with the last tab. Here we go. Now it's nice and locked. All right, next step, cardboard element. So we take this little flower out, the top. And that's gonna go over, let's see, lens, gonna stay open. And there's like little center piece that we need to take out. Use your helping tool to pull it out. And let's see, this little opening is gonna be for where the this little twisting mechanism is at. So as we insert it, there's like little tabs in there that, or holes that we need to put into those holes. One more slot. If you turn it on the back, you can see where all the openings are that you need to cut out. it in, all sides, pushing it in into the slots. Kind of slide it in. Once you get it in, kind of like push it in the paper so it goes in and actually slides into theirs and stays there. Carefully twist around the knob. Insert the 3 tabs. Work your way around to get them all in. And then the last one. This one needs a little fixing. All right, all done. And that's our E4. Ooh, that was a while. Okay, so now we need to put a battery in. And this rotates. And now the battery is in. So this piece is sticking into here to lock the battery in. We're gonna take it and we're gonna do the positive terminal towards the top, negative towards the bottom. Insert it into this little slot here. And this little piece will lock it in. And that's our E. And ideally, when we rotate this piece towards the right hand side, it's going to turn it on. The light, I don't know if you can see it or not. Off, on, off, on. All right, that's our E, all working. Step number 2, we're gonna put it onto the top, onto here. And let's see, so this little compartment towards you, the light towards you, and that's how it's gonna go in. Now with these little pieces splitting up. When you do it apart, it's gonna get onto it, so this is gonna lock it in. and that's the way that you open it too. Take it off, and that's our ref. Looks like the assembly is complete, and we're all done. So this was the assembly of R2-D2. Now let's check the functionality, make sure everything works and operating the way it's supposed to. All right, so let's see. First step, we're gonna put it in the stop position. Let's see, second step, we're gonna move the legs forward, towards the back. We're gonna twist these so it sits nice and flat, and we're gonna twist this portion by pushing onto here, like onto the bottom here, twist it and then lock it in to make sure it sits nice and flat on the ground too. So you need to make sure you push that little bottom piece to unlock it, move it, rotate it, just like this. Next, we're gonna twist the head here, maximum 5-7 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Well, I didn't do the full, I'm afraid. We haven't checked the operation after the... I guess everything works. I accidentally moved my finger. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right. Let's see. Need a little bit more. There you go. Let's try it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Why? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. On. He's moving. There we go. I guess the surface matters a little bit. So we need to work him in a little bit more. So the wheels spin, there's a little bit of hesitation, so we just need to work him. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Well, right now he's moving with a little push. As you can hear, the spring rotates, so we're good. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There we go, just needs a little bit push. So pretty much I need to play with him a little bit longer, same as all the other models, to work the mechanism in to make sure everything is nice and operational. But you can see that it's moving with the push, little push some. Just need to work them in a little bit. Then let's see, so the next step is to try the projection. We're going to take this out. We're going to take one of the parts. Let's try one of the projection pieces. we're gonna unhook this part, we move it out. Then we insert the little projection inside into here with the cutoff towards the top, and we're gonna insert it in between those little parts 110, I believe, that were all the way in, and then you can use this little guiding tool to lock this back in. Guess we need to round it off a little bit. There we go. And this goes on inside. That's what I'm doing. And now the projection, if we're going to turn it on, we can see it. I don't know if you can see it on my hand or not. Right here. I don't know. Hopefully you guys can see it on the paper. The projection from R2-D2. So if you put it against the wall, you can see it. We need to level them up. This way, this way, this way, and this way. All right, I guess this completes the assembly. This was Dimitri with the Ukidz LLC, UGears.us, making R2-D2, and then the projection. I guess the last thing is, once you turn it on, this little button will serve as a focus, so you can focus it in, focus it out, depending on the distance where you're at. There you go. Once again, you probably can't see it on the camera, but I can see the projection onto the paper here. And then you can use this little button as a focus to focus it on or off. All right, if there are any questions or comments, please do not hesitate to leave them below. If there is any requests for other assemblies, once again, I'm going to be doing all different ones, all the 6 of the Star Wars eventually. Just going to take some time because I know some of them are going to be harder than this. This is probably going to be the easiest model that is available out of the Star Wars series. Let's see which one I want to project. Probably Luke. Please do not hesitate to like, to follow, to comment, just to boost up our little YouTube channel. And I'm going to be doing more assemblies for you guys, which will help to answer a lot of questions of the assembly. I know with the manufacturer they do a lot of help too, but there's always nice to see somebody else putting it together. All right, so this completes it, and thank you very much for being here. As I said, please do not hesitate to like, follow, and comment on here just to boost it up. And we'll see you guys next time with the new fun assembly. Forgot to mention that visit our website. Well, while I'm still doing the assembly, visit our website, UGears.us. That's for all UGears products. Star Wars are currently available in there for pre-order, just because we don't have the all the stock just yet, but we'll be getting them within a short period of time, and probably by the time we post this video, everything's going to be available, at least for a short period. And got Luke's face on here. I don't know if you can see it or not. There you go. Once again, UGears.us. We also have a ton of different toys on UKidzToys.com. And thank you for being here. This was Dimitri with Ukidz LLC, UGears.us, and UKidzToys.com. And we'll see you guys next time.